This thing called love, I just can't handle it.
Welcome to Have You Heard? On today's edition, I have two people who I'm sure you have heard, Signor and Gaye LaCasce. They've been and are still in many a cappella groups in the Upper Valley, including Harmony Night, which is where I met them. So we'll start off with a quartet that they're in called the Honeymooners.
Who put the tip in the tip, tip, tip? Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with me. Yeah! Made my baby blue. Bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum. Every word went right into his heart. And when we heard them singing, ramble, lamble, 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 ding dong, we said we'd never have to part. So who put the bump in the bump, the bump, the bump? Who put the ram in the ramble, lamble, ding dong? Who put the bump in the bop, shabop, shabop? Who put the tip in the tip, 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 tip? Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with me. Yeah! Each time when we roll along, boogity, 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 shoo, sets my baby's heart all aglow. And when we go to dance, tip, 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 he always says he must be so who put the bump in the bump, the bump, the bump? Who put the ram in the ram, ram, ding dong? Who put the bop in the bop, shabop, shabop? Who put the tip in the tip, 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 tip? Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with me.
My honey, ram-a-ding-dong, and my darling, dip, 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 dip. And when I say boogity, boogity, you know I mean it from the bottom of my boogity, boogity shoe.
Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with, my baby fall in love with, made my baby fall in love with me. Ba 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 ba. Have you heard the new sensation sweeping across the land? A musical treat with a Dixieland jazzing up the river, oh, what a sight. We're dancing in Pixie tonight, tonight. Take me to the land of jazz, let me hear the kind of blues that Memphis has. I want to stare to tune that's full of ginger and Pam. Pick 'em up and lay 'em down, learn to do the razzmatazz. Let me give you a warning, we won't get home until morning, 'cause everybody's full of jazz. Whoa, in the loving land of jazz. Down in Tennessee, that the jazzy melody originated, then waited for popularity. Now in every cabaret, it's the only thing they hear them play. I love to hear it, must be near it, that's why I say, oh, won't you take me to the land of jazz, money, let me hear the kind of blues that Memphis has. I want to stare to tune that's full of ginger and Pam. Pick 'em up and lay 'em down, learn to do the razzmatazz. Let me give you a warning, we won't get home until morning, 'cause everybody's full of jazz. Whoa, I love to hear it out, come on and play me that jazz. Just play that jazz, won't you play that? I love that jazz.
Actually, I was the annoying tenor, and she was the really loud soprano.
And this is how we met.
And this is actually how we met, yes. We were both hired separately to sing in a professional choir down in Boston. There was a composer from the Old South Church in Boston that a philanthropist, is that the right word?
Good word.
Philanthropist, wanted to publish some of her music. So he put a whole bunch of money down and hired a choir to do this, and he was going to publish the music. And we met during rehearsals. The rehearsals were at night, starting at about 10 p.m., because the street noise of the Old South Church in Boston is way too loud. So during the day, we'd have all day off, and we would sightsee and this and that. And a tenor friend of mine and a soprano friend of hers were a couple, so we would go off and socialize, and that was
The beginning of the
the
end.
beginning of
Truly.
the end, truly.
But we started singing together once we were married, and then we decided that when you do music, often it takes you away from your family, and we decided that we wanted to do something that would give us at least one date night a week.
Date night,
So we
very
decided
important,
to
yes.
start a mixed quartet with another couple.
Yeah.
Which we did.
Yeah,
And we
years
have
ago.
been in a mixed quartet ever since, so 12 years or so. So, yeah, at least once
Is
a
that
week.
only 12 years?
It seems like more, I know.
It seems like one, yes. The Honeymooners is our fourth mixed quartet.
But the Honeymooners just celebrated their eighth
The
anniversary.
8th anniversary.
And we've been fortunate enough to perform all over the country and Canada, and we're trying to get that European gig.
Yes,
Can't
yes,
wait.
that would be fun.
But it's been a great deal of fun, and we've probably done, what, 300-400 shows
At least,
at this
yeah.
point. We gig a lot, and it is great fun. And we all have day jobs, which makes it a little more challenging. If we could do it full-time, that would be great, but oh well.
It's one thing that we've done in the Honeymooners is we've offered fun facts. Fun facts is when Gaye will go out as our MC, and she will tell 4 interesting facts about the members of the quartet, but won't tell you who goes with which fact. So then people will come up to us after the show and talk to us about, hey, were you the one that did this or did that? And on our website, we actually have made up a lot of different fun facts. So people can go to our website and they can say, oh, wow, I wonder who doesn't like corn, or who was a Frisbee champion. So it's kind of neat that people can kind of interact with us and help us with our shtick and help us with our comedy through our website.
Which is?
www.hmquartet, honeymoonersquartet.com. We always need new words of wisdom as well. Folks out there have seen the Honeymooners. Chris is our resident smart guy, and he will go out and say things like, marriages are made in heaven, but then again, so are thunder and lightning. You might say something like that, and we have a submit form on our website that people can help us out with that too, because Chris always needs more information.
It's grown worthy, no question.
It is,
So-
definitely
So
growing.
hmquartet.com, we'd love to get some new words of
Need
wisdom
your
for
help.
Chris.
Please help Chris. Help Chris.
Zazzle is the women's quartet in which I sing with Alexa, our daughter. And it was born out of Harmony Night. Susan Sylvia, who's our baritone in Zazzle, was the mom of one of Dan's students, and she and her son, Paul, came to Harmony Night, and that's where we met her.
Fast Track is my brand new men's quartet. Very excited about that. Hi, Tom. Hi, Dan. Hi, Dave. We are only 6 rehearsals old. We had our 6th rehearsal last night. I have sung in just a number of men's quartets, and I have had to drive as far as 2 hours one way on a school night to rehearse. And I decided that I really wanted to sing in a men's quartet and wanted to do something local. There's a big benefit in quartetting to sing in a local group where you can sing at local sort of events and rehearse more often. So Fast Track got together. I sent out an email about 7 or 8 weeks ago and said, hey, do you guys want to do this? And we've had a blast, and we're working hard, and we look forward to our future together, whatever that might bring. So this next group for you is Harmony Night. Gaye and I started this group 6 years ago now, and we have had just a blast. They have worked their tails off this year and have done such a great job. So would you please welcome, under the direction of no one, because they can do it all by themselves, the Harmony Night Chorus!
Don't
Harmony Night actually started, we just finished up our 6th year. We were having so much fun singing mixed harmony with the Honeymooners and our experience with that we thought it would just be fabulous to get a bunch of people together and form a chorus that did the same sort of thing that Harmony Night did. All kinds of mixed music, a cappella, do fun choreography. So we thought it would be a blast to do that, and 6 years later, we're so glad we did, and we still fashion Harmony Night after that concept of how we fell in love with mixed harmony, multi-generational, going back to the family quartet, and lots of different music, and doing local performances to kind of get back to the community. So that's kind of how Harmony Night started 6 years ago.
And it's an every Monday night during the school year event, and people come, and many people there have never sung before. There are some very experienced singers, and that is it's a great place to come. People just have to be open-minded enough to come and try something completely new, and everything is memorized. And that is something that throws people too. That
Yes.
a lot of people who've grown up in a classical tradition, like I did, you always have music in front of you. But our philosophy is that, or the philosophy of a cappella, is that you can't really engage with your audience unless you put the music down, and then you can really tell the story of whatever you're singing to the audience and engage them. So that's another neat thing about Harmony Night.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your comrades on and join me, hon. We'll have some fun when the clock strikes 1. Rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock, rock, rock to the broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2 and 3 and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. Rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock, rock, rock to the broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. Oh yeah. Rock, rock, rock around the clock. Hey, rock, rock, rock around the clock. Hey, rock, rock, rock around the clock. Hey, rock, rock, rock around the clock. Rockin' and rollin', everybody's going to rock, rock, rock. When the chimes ring 5 and 6 and 7, we'll be rockin' up in the 7th heaven. Rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock, rock, rock to the broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. When it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, I'll be going strong and so are you. Rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock, rock, rock to the broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 12, we'll cool off and start rocking around the clock again. Rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock, rock, rock to the broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. Hey, any time, both night or day, rock and roll is here to stay. Rock, 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 rock around the clock. Oh, yeah!
I'll Have Another is a quartet that grew out of Harmony Night as well. One of the things that Dan and Alexa and I like to do is to give people an opportunity to try quartet singing who've not had ever maybe felt experienced or confident enough to do. So she and I and Dan will often sing with people who want that experience. I'll Have Another has 2 relatively new singers in it, and we decided that, or they asked if we would like to do this. They wanted the experience. It was great. We chose the name because we're right in the middle of the horse race season, and I believe that I'll Have Another had won 2 races by
Right,
the time we chose
right.
our name, so just seemed very apropos.
I have taught for the last 11 years both at Lebanon Junior High and Lebanon High School, and in that I direct 7 different choirs. One of the groups that was on the Acapella Showcase is called the Treblemakers, and they've been around for a long time, and that's a select group of 7th and 8th graders out of the junior high chorus. We rehearse Tuesday and Thursday morning at 10 minutes of 7, but that's been a really fun group, and that group was around before I got here, so I just had a privilege of directing them. Then another group is the Lebanon High School Chorus, which is open to everybody. It's a regular class here at the high school. They have had a wonderful history of a lot of wonderful performances and just great improvement over the last few years, which is great. The Lebanon High School Superlatives is a mixed select group. All the kids in March auditioned to try to get into the group for the next year. That group has been around for, again, longer than I've been here, and it has ranged as small as 12, which we had this year, to I think the largest group I had was 22 one year.
This is also an academic class.
Also an academic class.
It's like if you know school classrooms, this is like an advanced placement class.
Certainly.
Exceptionally intense.
Yep.
Musically.
And Alexa was a member of that group and a section leader for a number of years. And then 2 groups that I'm very, very proud of that I've had the chance to start myself is Showtime, which is another select group only for ladies. And this year we had 24 members. It started out 4 years ago with only 8, and it's been able to grow from there, which is wonderful. And then our 2-year-old fun-loving Sha-Na-Na group, which is a guys group. We started out last year with 9. We had 13 this year, and next year the number is up to 20. So it continues to grow, and my beard continues to get more gray every time I get to spend time with Shanae, who is we affectionately call them.
Dan's theory about school groups is that you need, first of all, if you build it, they still may not come. Dan is a huge recruiter and will listen for kids humming in the halls or talk to the students who are in band and say, hey, sounds like you're singing. You need to come and check this out. And
I say it a little bit nicer than that, though.
he probably does,
Just a
but he's a very persuasive person when it comes to enticing students to join these groups. But you have gotten incredible results in, you always hear from people, how do you have so many boys in your program? Well, singing at Lebanon is a cool thing to do.
Oh yeah, good luck. Cause you got to have a love. Everybody got to have a love. A little bit of love. Now baby, good love. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba.
So come on, baby, now. Whoa, squeeze me tight. Don't you want your daddy to be alright? I said, no, baby. Whoa, it's for sure. I got the fever. You got the cure.
I have climbed through the mountains. I have run It's me, love.
No, we will not let you go, let it go.
It's me, love.
We will not let you go, let it go.
It's me, love.
We will not let you go, let it go. We'll not let you go. Never, 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 never let it go. No, 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 no. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. As a God, as a devil put aside for me, for me, for me. Yes, we see. That's when I fell for the leader of the pack.
When I found a cappella in college, it was just so, lack of a better word, enjoyable and fun, because it was
Liberating.
liberating. The audience was right there, and there's so much, especially now. Being an a cappella singer now is one of the coolest things ever, with the sing-off and Glee and the new show Duets and The Voice. And I mean, a cappella is such the craze at this point, and there's so much great music out there, and it's so fun to stand up to sing and dance and just be a performer. And when you've performed as much as we have, there's some draw when it comes to that a cappella music because it's so freeing. That's kind of my take on why I love a cappella so much.
And I was a classical singer, also played the trumpet and the piano and some other instruments.
She was the loud soprano.
I
Remember,
was
back
the
to our
loud
story?
soprano, right.
Yeah.
But what I have realized through a cappella singing is that if the precepts of a cappella singing, which are balancing to your section and blending your voice as opposed to tuning, all those things,
Tuning.
you have no accompaniment behind which to stand, and it's just you. And it is the hardest kind of singing I have ever done, even though I've done some pretty challenging works, not professionally, but classically.
There's also something about the entertainment value when you're talking to kids. We have 3 priorities in the Lebanon and choral department. Number 1, singing, and that comes into tempo and balance and blend and tuning. But number 2 is face. We want the kids to look expressive. We do this at Harmony Night. We want our singers to look expressive and have fun and look confident. How many places in life do you need that? Going to a business meeting, going on an interview on television. You need to have that happy face. And number 3, the choreography. So when the choreography starts getting in the way of the good singing, we take a break and go back there. So a cappella allows us to become more confident people and allows us to kind of progress through all of those singing steps. When everything's said and done, it's how you communicate, and it's how you act at your job and with your friends and your family. And a cappella music, crazy enough, can help us learn all of those lessons.
Much of it is self-directed as well, and so groups have to, and Harmony Night learned this year, your groups at the high school did this as well. When there is no director, the amount of individual competence and confidence is remarkable that you need to have. And that the Acapella Showcase was a great example of places where, a show where there was hardly any directing being done. It was all being done with people who had to listen and do it all together. There's one more very practical reason to sing a cappella, and that is that you can bust out into tune, into a song, wherever and whenever you choose to, if you have a few other people around you. So whether you're in a restaurant, on a street corner, on a bus, on a ski lift, you can do this anywhere.
We've sung in all those places.
We have, well, that's kind of why I said that.
Yes.
It's great fun to just be able to burst into song at a drop of a hat, and that's another reason I love it.
Shoo-be-doo, 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 shoo-be-doo,